I'd like to ask you, Gleb Tsipursky, what is the biggest risk?
So what is the biggest risk for me, you're asking?
Yeah, you or however you
Mhm.
you can identify it you personally, or if you see investors, or how you see
Mhm.
people making decisions, or however you want to frame the question
So
and
for
frame the
me
answer.
and for many other people who are like me, the biggest risk I would say is a cognitive bias called the optimism bias. So I tend to be very optimistically biased. What does that mean? It's one of the cognitive biases where people tend to see the future as always bright, as always great, as the grass is green on the other side of the hill, everything is going to be wonderful, tend to be risk blind and tend to be have exaggerated expectations. So I tend to systematically underestimate risks for my future, for myself. And this is a huge problem. I've run into many, many mistakes and many problems that I wouldn't have to run into if I was not intuitively risk blind, if I was not just focusing on the opportunities instead of the threats. So I've had to really work on myself and train myself and had to get some outside advisors and help to who are pessimistically oriented to run my ideas by because I just don't see the inherent flaws in them, which there are many. I'm the kind of person who has 20 ideas before breakfast and thinks they're all brilliant. Now, to my bitter experience, I've learned they're not. But this is something I know I have to deal with. And this is something that I've learned to mitigate by both calibrating myself better, knowing that I tend to be way too optimistic, and getting outside help from people who are pessimistic, who I trust, who I can run ideas by, and who can tell me that, hey, these are 20 half-baked potatoes and 17 of them don't make sense, but maybe these three you could work on and finish baking them into fully baked potatoes.